Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our social studies online class for today, which is about a review in Unit 4 History. Last time we've talked about Unit 4, which is History. We've got the calendars, the different measurement in time, and then the different kings of Thailand. For now, let's have some vocabulary words. First one is history. Everyone say history.
History.
History in Thai is
ประวัติศาสตร์
history is what happened in the past, happened before. It means it's finished already. Next is measure. Measure. Measure.
วัด
Yes. Sometimes we measure the length, the weight, the height, or the volume. But for history, we measure time. Next is time.
time
What is time in Thai?
เวลา
Okay, time. Do you know what time is it now?
one o'clock
Yes.
one
o'clock.
10, right?
p.m.
PM. It's afternoon. Okay, now please turn off your microphone. For now, we will have a review about measuring time. Okay, the different measurements in time. How do we call the days, the weeks, the years? Okay. First is history. Turn off your mic first. Turn off your mic. First is history. History means what happened before. It means it's finished already. History is in the past. We study history over time. When you say past, it means it happened yesterday or last week or last year or many years ago. It means it's finished already. When you say past, finished already. When you say present, it means it's happening now, this time. And then when you say future, future means it did not happen yet. It will happen soon. Like for example, tomorrow, next week, next year, that is future. Again, past means it's finished already. Present means what's happening now at this time. And then when you say future, it means it will happen soon. Like next year, next week. All right. When we know how to measure time, then we can talk about history. That's why we have to know how to measure time. So we can know when a certain party happened, when a certain celebration happened, or when something important happened. Like for example, when was your birthday? When did your mother give birth to you? Or when did you finish KG1? In what year? Or when did your mother and your father got married? That's why we have to know how to say time or the date. Now let's measure time. 365 days is equal to 1
year
1 year. When you say 1 year, it has 365 days. Actually, it has more. Okay, hours. Next is 10 years is equal to, what do you call 10 years?
10 year 1
decade. It's called a decade. 1 decade is 10 years. It has 10 years. Now you can say 10 years or you can say 1 decade because decade means 10. Okay? When you say 2 decades, what is 2 decades?
20 years
20 years. How about when you say 50 decades? 5 decades. How many years is that?
It's 50 years
50 years because 1 decade is 10 years. Next, 100 years is equal to, what do you call 100 years?
100 year is
Equal
10
to
decade
10 decades or 1
cen-
century.
century
It's called century.
century
When you say century, it means 100 years. But you're also correct when you said 10 decades. 10 decades is also 100 years. You can say 10 decades or you can just say 1 century. How about when you say 500 years? How do you call that? Five 5 centuries, right? How about when you say 900 years? How will you say that?
9 centuries.
9 centuries. Okay, it will be changed into centuries. This one will be letter IES, centuries. Next is 1,000 years. Instead of saying 1,000 years, we can say 1 millennium. Again, it's
Millennium.
yes, millennium. Now, 1 millennium is equal to 1,000 years. So instead of saying, you will say 10 centuries. 10 centuries is 1,000 years. Instead of saying 10 centuries, you can just say 1 millennium, for 1,000 years. Or instead of saying 100 decades, 100 decades is 1,000 years. So instead of saying 100 decades, you will just say 1 millennium. Millennium means 1,000. That's why when you say 1 millennium, it means 1,000 years. All right. Again, teacher will erase. Can you tell me what is 365 days? It's equal to
1 years.
1 year. Okay. When there's 2, 3, 4, you will add s. It will become years. Okay. But if it's only one, you will just say year. 1 year. Next, 10 years. What is 10 years?
10 years is equal
One
1
de-
de-
decade.
decade.
Yes. Now, 100 years is equal to
100 is one
century.
century.
Century. Next, 1,000 years is equal to 1
One
millennium.
million.
Millennium.
Millennium.
Okay. Now, here are some more examples. Okay. When you say 4 weeks, 4 weeks is equal to
1
1
month.
month. Yes. Instead of saying 4 weeks, you can just say 1 month. Next, 12 months is equal to
1 year.
1 year. Instead of saying 24 months, you will just say 2 years. Okay, you'll add S now. Instead of saying 36 months, you can just say 3 years. All right, it will make it easier for you. And then, next, 10 decades is equal to 1 century. And then, 10 centuries is equal to what? 1
One
millennium.
century.
Because
Then
1 century is 100 years. So if you have 10, then you have 1,000 years. And 1,000 years is equal to 1 millennium. Right. Next, we have another topic which is about the Buddhist calendar and the Gregorian calendar. We are going to talk about the differences. What's the difference between the Buddhist calendar and the Gregorian calendar? But before that, let me show you a video about calendars. See. Okay, you see the screen? All right. Now tell me if you can hear it, okay?
So why do
Can you
we
hear
celebrate
it?
January 1st as the new year? Why are half of our months
Okay.
named after numbers and the other after Roman religious practices and leaders? Have we always counted days, weeks, months, and years like this? What's with that
This video will show you the differences or the history. Where did the calendar, our calendar, now the Gregorian calendar, come from? Where did it come from? Okay, it came from what or from who?
Mayan calendar thing? There were a number of calendars in early human history. You had the Hebrew calendar, the Egyptian calendar, the Greek calendar, Chinese calendar, Babylonian calendar, and others. The one we use today in the Western world originated from the Roman calendar. Incidentally, the early Roman calendar evolved from that of the Greeks. It was basically a lunar calendar with an extra month inserted every so often to keep the months in step with the seasons. They were named Martius, Aprilis, Maia, Junius, Quintilis, Sextilis, September, October, November, December, Januarius, and
You see it?
Februarius.
These are the months before. These were the names of the months. Not January, February, March. No. They were called Martius, April. This one is March, April, May, June, July, August. And then September, October, November, December, January, February. The first month was Martius, which is March. So it's very hard. Now, if they didn't change, you can see, you will say, what month, what day is it today? You will say, it's the date today. You will say 12 Quintilis 2021. It's very hard, right? Instead of just saying July. Or you have to say 10 Sextilis 2021. Instead of just saying August, you'll say Sextilis. It's very hard.
These names have pretty much been the same since the past 2,500 years. Unlike today, the Roman year began with March. The calendar consisted of 355 days, which was about 12 lunar months. The intercalary month, Mercedonius, was added when needed at the end of February. So when that happened, February was shortened to 23 days. Julius Caesar took it upon himself to bring the calendar in line with the seasons. He ordered 3 intercalary months should be added at the end of the year, and rearranged the length of the months, giving them their present duration. He eventually rejected the lunar month entirely and adopted the solar year, which had an average length of 365.25.
So they changed the months of the year. They now base it on the sun, because we know that the planets rotate around the sun, right? They revolve around the sun. They move around the sun. So that's how we count the days and the year, right? So now they base the days, the months, depending on the rotation of the planets around the sun. Now they
The
said
4-year
there
leap
are
year cycle was added to resolve the 25th of a day.
365.25 days.
The reforms took place on January 1, 45 BCE. This changed the beginning of the year from March 1st to January 1st as we know it today. The calendar was called the Julian calendar for obvious reasons. The 7-day week was followed by Judaism and Islam. The week was set around a day of rest and religious practices. Romans didn't have a day of rest, so their 8-day week cycled around market days. Eventually, astrologers assigned a planet to rule each of the 24 hours of the day in a continual sequence. This led to the Roman 7-day cycle. Saturn, the Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, and Venus became Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The names of the first 6 months are partially derived through the fact that certain Roman gods had feast days or times centered around them. For example, Janus was the god of beginning, so January was used for the name of the first month of the year. The month of March was the time that soldiers would begin war, so it was named after the god of war, Mars.
So they changed the names of the months now.
The other 2 months were named after Roman leaders, and the rest of the months were just named after the number of the month that they were. October, 8th month, November, 9th month. The Julian calendar was simple, which made everything seem fine and dandy, but there was a small problem, a problem that added up every year. The 365.25 day year is 11 minutes and 15 seconds longer than the true length of the tropical year. After 128 years, the season begins a whole day earlier. The Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans didn't have an issue with days not lining up perfectly, but the Christian church did. You see, they wanted to make sure that the religious holidays they celebrated were on their actual days. Pope Gregory XIII took it upon himself to resolve this problem and came up with a...
You see, Pope Gregory was the one who initiated or started the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar is the one that we use now, the one that we use as 2021, 2021, 2019. That was from Pope Gregory.
problem and came up with the
13.
Gregorian calendar. The changes he enacted resolved the shift at the beginning of each year, set a standard for the length of a year in days and minutes and seconds, among other things. The changes were not accepted in England and the British colonies in America until 1752. By then, the English calendar was off by 11 days compared to the calendar of continental Europe. Because of this, dates of events such as the timeline of historical figures will often have two dates. The Gregorian is called the New Style and the Julian the Old Style. The birth of Isaac Newton was the 25th of December, 1642 in accordance to the Old Style, but was the 4th of January, 1643 in accordance to the New Style. In the Middle Ages, New Year celebrations were abolished due to their pagan origins, but the celebrations were started again in 1582. The modern calendar...
Because of the change, some people had two birthdays. Do you want to have two birthdays also? Because from the first calendar, the calendar that they use, for example, your birthday is January 2. And then when they change the calendar, now your birthday is now March 2. So you now have two birthdays. You want to have that too? Do you want 2 birthdays?
I want to
Two
birthday.
two cakes, 2 gifts. No?
No.
All right. Now
Calendar
this is
can't
the
be
modern
credited to one
calendar, the
specific
calendar
person.
that we
It's pretty
use
much the
now.
Gregorian calendar, but with an addition of dates for Christian celebrations and the way years are numbered. Oh, and about the 2012 Mayan prophecy stating the end of the world, don't worry about that, it's a bunch of bunk.
Okay. Now,
It's so far.
okay, it's so fast, right? It's just an example, okay, just for you to imagine where did the calendars came from. But now I'll be showing you the 2 different calendars that we use in Thailand, okay? Because what's the religion of most Thai people? What's the religion of most Thai people? It is
Buddhism.
Buddhism, right? Since most Thai people are Buddhists, we usually use Buddhist calendar in Thailand, okay? Now, but there is also another calendar that is used all over the world in other countries, and we also use it here in Thailand. It's called Gregorian calendar. So what are the differences between these two? For the Buddhist calendar, Buddhist calendar is, what year is it now in Thai? How do you say the year in Thai?
September.
No, the year. 2-6. What's the year now?
2, 6,
Uh,
2,
2,
5,
5,
6,
6.
4.
Yes, 2564. That is the Buddhist calendar. But for Gregorian calendar, when your foreign teachers ask you to write the date, it is 2 what 2021 or 2021, right? We can say 2021. Yes, that is 2564 is the Buddhist calendar, and then 2021 or 2021 is the Gregorian calendar. We both use them in Thailand. Now, what is a calendar? Turn off your mic first, okay? Turn off your mic. Calendar is a system used to measure time. Calendars help us measure time. There are 2 main types of calendar in Thailand, the Buddhist calendar and then the Gregorian calendar. Now let's talk about them. The Buddhist calendar came from Buddhism. It's because of the religion Buddhism. Okay, now who is the god in Buddhism? Do you know? Who's the god in Buddhism? Who's the god? Lord? Who? Lord? Lord Buddha, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Lord Buddha is the god in Buddhism. Now, the system of the Buddhist calendar came from Lord Buddha. They base the dates, the months, depending on Lord Buddha. Next, the Gregorian calendar came from Christianity. Christianity is another religion. Now, who is the God in Christianity? Do you know? Who is the God in Christianity? Jesus Christ, yes. Now, if Buddhist calendar started from Buddhism, Gregorian calendar started from Christianity. Okay. Next, Buddhist calendar, the first year started after Lord Buddha's death. Now, you know the story of Lord Buddha already, right? Lord Buddha
Yes.
died when he was 80 years old under a tree. Now, that was the first day, okay, the day after Lord Buddha died. That was the day that the Buddhist calendar started. It means the first year, okay? The first year started when Lord Buddha died. Now, Gregorian calendar started after Jesus Christ's birth. What do you mean by birth?
Birth.
Birth? When the yes, like birthday, when the baby came out of the tummy of the womb. Now, the Gregorian calendar started the first year, year number 1, started when Jesus Christ came out of the womb. Okay, the birthday of Jesus Christ. That one. Because Jesus Christ was born in a what? What do you call this one? It's a stable where animals stay. You know, not in a
Wow.
hospital. Yeah, not in a hospital. Okay, he was born there with the animals. Okay, next. Buddhist calendar. In the Buddhist calendar, we write the letters B, E, big letter B and big letter E, after the year. What do we mean by after? What is
หลัง
after?
จาก
Yes, now you write the
เชื่อ
number.
ไงต้องการได้สี
Yes, you write the number and then you will write BE at the end. Okay, now BE means Buddhist era. Now you write BE like this. For example, you will write the date. For example, 2, 5, 6, 4. And then you will write BE. But now we don't write it anymore, right? When you write the date.
yes
That's the date. You will write BE to show that it is the Buddhist calendar. Because BE means Buddhist era. When you say era, the time when Lord Buddha was there, the time of Lord Buddha's era. Next, Gregorian calendar. In the Gregorian calendar, we write AD after the year also, at the end also. When AD means Anno Domini. Anno Domini means in the year of our Lord. Because Gregorian calendar is about Lord Jesus Christ, the God. When you say Lord, God is the same, okay? Lord God. So since Gregorian calendar is based on Jesus Christ, so we use Anno Domini. It means in the year of our Lord. Okay?
yes
Now you write, usually we write June 2021 AD, but we don't write it anymore. We just know that this is the Gregorian calendar and this is the Buddhist calendar. Okay. Next, Buddhist calendar is usually used or commonly used in Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and Thailand. Do you know where's Cambodia?
รู้เดีย
Which flag is Cambodia here? Do you know?
กัมพูชาเวียดนามลาว
Where's Cambodia there?
กัมพูชา is the number one
Yes, this is Cambodia. And then, what's the next one? This one, what's this?
พม่า
It is
พม่า
Lao, yeah?
Lao.
That is Pamaya, is Lao. Next, what is this one?
พม่า
Myanmar.
Myanmar.
No, this is Lao and this is Pamaya, it's Myanmar. This one. And then, Thailand. Yes. It means they also use 2564 in Lao, 2564 in Myanmar, and then Cambodia. Okay. And then the Gregorian calendar is used in Western countries. When you say Western countries, the white people with white skin. Like in UK, British, okay? UK or Germany. Not just in Western countries. We use it also in the Philippines, in Teacher Danica's place, in America, like that. Okay, next. The Buddhist calendar is 543 years ahead of the Gregorian calendar. What do we mean by ahead?
What is that? I don't know.
More or less?
I don't know.
Ahead means like more. It means you have to add more. It means Buddhist calendar came first. First, what do you mean by first? Before Gregorian calendar. Gregorian calendar is last. Okay, like late. When you say late, Gregorian calendar is late, and then Buddhist calendar first. Okay. Now, when the difference is 543 years, for example, in Buddhist calendar you will say 2559, but in Gregorian calendar you will say 2016. So that's the difference because you add. This is how you do it. For example, you have 2016 in Gregorian calendar. You add 543. So you add 543. So what's the answer? 6 plus 3 is
9
9. 1 plus 4 is
5
5. And then
Five.
5. And then 2.
and 2
That is the Buddhist calendar. Understand? For example, the year now. Okay, I'll just change the color. For example, the year now is 20. Sorry, it's not beautiful. 2021. Let's add 543. Add, so we plus. Because it's more. Buddhist calendar is more.
Okay.
Okay. Next, you add 1 plus 3 is
4.
2 plus 4 is
6.
0 plus 5
5.
is 5 and 2. That's the year now, right? In Buddhist calendar.
Yes.
See? It means 2021 is the same as 2564. Alright? Okay, next. We have an activity again.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, let us review first. I want to
Okay.
review first. Buddhist calendar was based on Buddhist calendar was from what religion? From
From Buddhist.
Buddhism. Yes. Gregorian calendar was based from Christianity. Next, Buddhist calendar, the first year started after Lord Buddha's death, when Lord Buddha died. But in Gregorian calendar, the first year started after
The first year stranger after
Jesus Christ's
Christ's
birth.
birth.
Yes, when Jesus Christ was born. And then Buddhist calendar, we write what? B
B
E E. It means
E
Buddhist
A
era. And then in the Gregorian calendar, we write A
D
AD, which means Anno Domini.
Anno Domini.
Yes. Next, in which countries do they use Buddhist calendar? Which countries? What countries? The Buddhist
Myanmar.
calendar. Yes, Myanmar. What else?
Myanmar. Thailand.
Yes. Where else?
Cambodia, Laos.
Cambodia and Laos. How about the Gregorian calendar? Where do they use it? We use it also in Thailand, but where else?
UK.
UK, America, right? Okay, now let me show you our game for today. Sit there. Do you see it?
Yes.
It's history. It's a game show. It's a quiz show, okay? We have 10 questions here. You have to answer quickly because there's a timer. You will see the time. It is used in measuring time. Calendar, ruler, or weighing scale.
Calendar.
Calendar. Yes. Next. 100 points. We've got 10 questions, okay? Question number 2. It is what happened in the past. What do you call the things that happened in the past? Future, present, or history? History. Yes.
Thank you.
How many points is that? 190. It means if you answer quickly, you'll have 4 points.
Wow. Ready? Question 3.
Question 3. Gregorian calendar came from Buddhism, Gregorian, Christianity. What's it?
Christianity.
Yes, Christianity. That's Jesus Christ. How many points was that? We were fast.
Wow.
See, the time also becomes points. Bonus round.
Bonus round.
Let's try to get plus 200. The biggest one is plus 200. So let's look for it. Which one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
One.
What do they want? 100. Okay, next. Number 4.
Get ready. Question 4.
The Gregorian calendar started after Jesus Christ's birth, Lord Buddha's death, Western countries. Gregorian calendar. Jesus Christ's birth. Yes.
beside the
Correct.
yes.
The spare time becomes points loop. It will become points too. See? Next. Question 5. Get ready. BE is used in Gregorian
This
calendar,
is
Buddhist
Buddhist
calendar, time.
calendar. Buddhist
Buddhist
calendar.
calendar. Yes.
Yes.
We've got lots of time.
Take a picture or not take a picture?
No, we have a worksheet. That's what you're going to take a picture of. Question 6. AD means what? After death?
AD.
Anno Domini. I'm here.
Adam.
Letter
B B B
B. Anno Domini. Yes.
Seven, nine. Wow.
Bonus round.
Bonus round.
Let's don't get times 3 speed. It means the question will be super fast. Don't get the
มันเร็ว
speed.
มากเลยเรามาไม่ทัน
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The question will be fast. The time will be super fast. The time will be super fast. Black is used in Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and Thailand. Look at the time. What is it? Yeah. If you get the speed, the time will be super fast.
Very fast.
Wow. Next. Number 8. 1 decade is equal to
100 years.
365 days is 1 year.
100 years. 100 years.
100 years is century.
10 years.
10 years. 100 years is equal to 1 century.
Okay.
Next. Question number. We got 1040 points already. Question 9. Get ready.
Number 9.
1000 years is equal to 1 century, 1 millennium, 1 millennium. Yes. Millennium. Good. Next. Bonus round. The last bonus round. Don't get times 3 speed. Wow, plus 300 points.
I don't know.
Where is it? Which one are we going to pick? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no! Ready? Be fast, okay? 100 years is equal to
100 years. Okay.
100 years is equal to 1 century. Let's check our score. Beat my score, okay? You have to get more than this. Okay. I'll send you the link.
Thank you for it.
Thank you for the link. There's the link.
Okay.
You can do it now. And then tell me what's your score, or tell me if you're in the leaderboard.
Okay. What? Wait. Okay. I don't see the link.
You don't see the link? Okay. There. Are you answering now? Are you finished? Are you finished?
Mm-hmm. Finish. Yes. Finish.
Finished?
Yes.
How about the others? Did you get into the leaderboard?
Yes.
Finished, everyone?
No. Finish.
Finished? Okay. Now this time, let us go to our live worksheet. Do you see it?
Yes.
Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. Now write your name, grade, and number. After that, we have arrows here. Okay. Turn off your microphone first. You have arrows here. Now these ones will show the choices. Okay. You see the choices there. Now for number one, 365 days is equal to 1 decade
Year.
or 1 year.
1 year.
Then click 1 year. Next, 10 years is equal to 1 decade, 1 century.
1 decade.
1 decade. Next, 100 years is equal to 1 century, 1 decade.
1 century.
1 century. 1,000 years is equal to 5 centuries or 1 millennium.
1
5
million.
1 million.
1 million.
5 centuries means 500 years only.
100 years.
1 millennium. Next, 30 years is equal to 3 centuries or 3 decades.
3
3
centuries.
decades.
3 decades because 1 decade is 10. Okay. Next, drag and drop the missing words on the blanks. You can get the words and then put them on the line. Now, first is, how do you read this word?
Christianity.
Christianity. Next is
543
543 years. Next is
Lord Buddha Day.
Lord Buddha's death. Buddhist era. And then calendar. Number 1. Blank is a system used to measure time. Which one is used to measure time? Get calendar. Yes. The Gregorian calendar came from what religion?
Christianity.
Christianity. The first year of the Buddhist calendar started after
Lord Buddha Day.
Lord Buddha's death. BE means
BE means
Buddhist
era.
era. The Buddhist calendar is 543 years ahead of the Gregorian calendar. Click finish, check my answers, put in the notes later. Take a picture of this and then put in the notes.
Okay.
I'll send you the link so you can do it now. If you can, you will see the link in the note.
Thank you for
There's the link. Thank you for the link. Welcome.